Hey everybody, you're listening to WVA Stonewall Jackson. WVA Stonewall Jackson. Hope everybody is having a good night and everything, and hope everybody sleeps well and everything. Just now got done watching the first presidential debate. Um, as far as I know, Trump won that. I mean, Trump beat her on a landslide on that. So, I mean, hopefully he wins the rest of the debates and everything. I got a clip here for you, providing I can get this thing to play. We'll see here. This is about a 4-minute clip from the debate.
So I know how to really work to get new jobs and to get exports that help to create more new jobs.
Right. Well, you haven't done it in 30 years or 26 years.
Well, I've been a senator.
You haven't done it.
And I have been a secretary of state, and I have
Your
done
husband signed NAFTA, which was one of the worst things that ever happened to the manufacturing industry.
That is your opinion.
You go to New England, you go to Ohio, Pennsylvania, you go anywhere you want, Secretary Clinton, and you will see devastation where manufacturing is down 30, 40, sometimes 50%. NAFTA is the worst trade deal maybe ever signed anywhere, but certainly ever signed in this country. And now you want to approve Trans-Pacific Partnership. You were totally in favor of it. Then you heard what I was saying, how bad it is, and you said, I can't win that debate. But you know that if you did win, you would approve that, and that will be almost as bad as NAFTA. Nothing will ever top NAFTA.
That is just not accurate. I was against it once it was finally negotiated and the terms were laid out. I wrote about that in...
You called it the gold standard. You called it the gold standard of trade deals. You said it's the finest deal you've ever seen.
No.
And then you heard what I said about it, and all of a sudden you were against it.
Well, Donald, I know you live in your own reality, but that is not the facts. The facts are, I did say I hoped it would be a good deal, but when it was negotiated, which I was not responsible for, I concluded it wasn't. I wrote about that.
So is it President Obama's fault? Is it President Obama's fault?
Even announced. Look,
Secretary, is it President Obama's fault? Because he's pushing it.
There are different views about what's good for our country, our economy, and our leadership in the world. And I think it's important to look at what we need to do to get the economy going again. That's why I said new jobs with rising incomes, investments, not in more tax cuts that would add $5 trillion to the debt.
But you have no plan.
Oh, I do.
Secretary,
you
have no plan.
A book about it. It's called Stronger Together. You can pick it up tomorrow.
That's about all you folks.
At the bookstore or at an airport near you.
We're going to move.
But it's because I see this. We need to have strong growth, fair growth, sustained growth. We also have to look at how we help families balance the responsibilities at home and the responsibilities at business. So we have a very robust set of plans, and people who have looked at both of our plans have concluded that mine would create 10 million jobs and yours would lose us 3.5 million jobs and explode.
You are going to approve one of the biggest tax cuts in history. You are going to approve one of the biggest tax increases in history. You are going to drive business out. Your regulations are a disaster, and you're going to increase regulations all over the place. And by the way, my tax cut is the biggest since Ronald Reagan. I'm very proud of it. It will create tremendous numbers of new jobs. But regulations, you are going to regulate these businesses out of existence. When I go around, Lester, I tell you this, I've been all over. And when I go around, despite the tax cut, the things that businesses and people like the most is the fact that I'm cutting regulation. You have regulations on top of regulations, and new companies cannot form, and old companies are going out of business, and you want to increase the regulations and make them even worse. I'm going to cut regulations, but I'm going to cut taxes big league, and you're going to raise taxes big league. End of story.
Let me get you to pause right there, because we're going to move into the next segment. We're going to talk taxes.
That can't be left to stand.
Take 30 seconds.
I kind of assumed that there would be a lot of these charges and claims. And so we have taken the homepage of my website, HillaryClinton.com, and we've turned it into a fact checker. So if you want to see in real time what the facts are, please go and take a look.
And take a look at mine also.
Not add a penny to the debt.
And that's it of that clip and everything. I got the link on my Facebook where you can watch that YouTube video. I was watching it live and everything, but you should be able to watch it on demand too, probably. Um, but I pretty much think that Donald Trump, he definitely won this first debate and everything. Thank y'all for listening to this radio program and everything. Let's see here. Play y'all a song in a second. Excuse me. Play something before play the song.
Here, I am convinced, is the best Republican political ad that has run this year. I cannot believe this didn't become a national news story this year, just how good it is, how moving and effective it is. I'm quite sure you have not seen this, but check it out. I think this is great.
My hands. Nobody has ever hit my hands. I've never heard of this one. Look at those hands. Are they small hands? And he referred to my hands. If they're small, something else must be small. I guarantee you there's no problem. I guarantee. Okay.
Once upon a time, you dressed so fine. better take your diamond ring. You better pawn it, babe. You used to be so amused. And Napoleon in rags and the language that he used. Go to him now, he calls you can't refuse. When you got nothing to lose. You're invisible now, you got no secrets to conceal. How does it feel? How does it feel to be on your own with no direction home, like a complete unknown, like a rolling stone?
You're listening to WVA Stonewall Jackson.
You gotta think about you. I just can't live without you. I really want you, Eleanor, near me. Your looks intoxicate me, even though your folks hate me. There's no one
Vote
like
Donald Trump.
Eleanor, really. I really think you're groovy. Let's go out to a movie. What do you say now, Eleanor, can we? They'll turn the lights way down low, and maybe we won't watch the show. I think I love you, Eleanor, love me.
Listening to WVA Stonewall Jackson. Thank y'all for listening. Remember, keep our country in your prayers and our next president of the United States in your prayers. We need all God's help.